and I don't have any formal beginning to the podcast except that I like to ask my guests. To introduce themselves because sometimes I feel like we do the research, we read the Wikipedias, then we try to hype someone up, but I want you to tell me how you would like to be introduced. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my name is Andrew Hypes, DJ producer from Virginia, Waynesboro, Virginia, to be exact. Shout out Waynesboro. Man, I've been doing it 22 years, DJing and producing 19.
Right.
And now I'm on a world tour with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, you gotta leave that part in. Just kind of some of the highlights, and just from watching it, because me and you tap in with each other, but we're not checking in every day. You did Tiny Desk with Justin Timberlake, which is amazing.
Forgot all about that. That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
It's been a blur. Yeah, Tiny Desk was nuts. I found out I was doing Tiny Desk like 3 days before we did it,
which is dope because it's a part of that Virginia,
it's
Maryland,
DC,
the
right
DC,
there.
you know what I mean?
There.
So it kind of like is that's monumental. That's something I haven't done.
Man, yeah, it was amazing, bro. I can't lie, because they mentioned it in London, but it wasn't set in stone yet, and the whole time I was just like,
right.
Man, y'all gotta let me do Tiny Desk, because I feel like I know what's appropriate, what's enough, what's not. We don't ever want to be scratching over and overdoing it, right?
Right.
In my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna do it so tastefully, like, just let me do Tiny Desk.
Right.
And so when I got that call, I was literally on the way because I had a gig in
Who's
DC.
the MD? Adam Blackstone's for that? Or no?
Yeah. Shout out Adam Blackstone, my guy.
Did he do? He MD'd the tour as well?
Yep.
Like this tour?
Oh yeah.
Is he with you on the tour?
He's not with us the whole tour, but he hops on.
Yeah, of course.
He's
the super duper OG Adam Blackstone.
Yeah, he actually called me. I guess it's kind of maybe getting ahead, but he called me 3 days before the start of the tour, and was like, "Yo, can you flip Let's Stay Together, Al Green?" And so I flip it. He was like, "Yo, just make it horror, go cut time, trap, and make it dark."
Right.
And so I ended up producing this edit that they now run to
do the show.
Open the show. So as soon as I'm done, Let's Stay Together comes on, and then
I'm gonna be a little try not to bang on that because the mic. No, it's all good. I'm gonna kind of give us our props real quick. Not a lot of DJs get to go on tour. Period. The whole thing, tour bus, and I'll just say this: some DJs, that's not appetizing for them.
Sure.
So it's not like everyone wants to do that, but I would say that there's a very small percentage of people that actually get to tour with an artist, and when we say artist, we're talking about Justin Timberlake's a pretty
as is
goated. Yeah, Wiz Khalifa's big. So congratulations! I want to give you your flowers in that, and just that experience alone, I can relate to you.
Absolutely.
And especially how sensitive DJing can be when you're dealing with artists.
For sure.
But let's take it back real quick. A lot of people may have seen you, and they didn't know that they've seen you from a viral clip that you've had, where it looks like you're DJing at a school.
Yep, VCU.
And was it a DJ battle or something?
It was a battle, and the winner got to open up for Tory Lanez.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you may have seen this video where he is playing the Beach Boys. All these people are watching, and then you flip Beach Boys into Swag Surf, and people are going fucking crazy. What was that moment like at the moment? Because I feel like that video, when you took that video, and actually during the time, that sort of transitions and shit were like, I don't want to say we're like hot or whatever, but like, people were watching other DJs seeing that and doing loops and wordplay. Because that happened, how many years ago was that video?
This is 17.
Oh, shit.
17.
So like, and just having that sort of reaction. Were you in college then, or you just like?
Oh no, man.
No?
I wish I was that young.
Oh right, you look young though, bro.
No, I appreciate that. I got asked to do the battle. It's just like a local thing, right? But they, it was their school group. I can't remember who it was, but they put it on. Right. So
and did you win?
Battle. Yeah.
And you got to open up for Tory Lanez? How was that?
Oh, it was amazing. It was fun.
Between that and then Justin Timberlake, what's the stuff in the middle there to kind of get you to that point? And you don't have to go to full how you got on tour with Justin, but what was, because I know we connected in between there at some point. Just probably I don't even know how really.
On Twitter first.
Yep.
And then Joe, shout out Joe Fu.
Oh
Joe
right.
had always talked super highly of you and stuff like that, and But yeah, the video went viral. Shaquille O'Neal DMs me and is like, "Yo, I like that mix," and I was like, "Do you want it? Like, I'll bounce it and send it to you." So I sent it to him, and I remember just saying, like, you know, I want to tell this man that I produce, right?
Right.
So I'm like, "Hey man, side note, you know, I do some production work if you ever," and now I've got like 4 or 5 songs I produced with Shaq rapping on my beats.
Shit. Are those out? Have they ever been
They're
out?
not out,
No.
but I got them. I'll send them to you for sure. But you know, I really utilized that viral moment to kind of kick the door in, and I started getting booked in New York. I started getting booked in Atlanta. So I just kind of exploited that, and I started knocking on doors like, "Hey,
Love that.
This is what I do. This is how long I've been doing it. Would love to get into your venues." And some let me in, some didn't. You know,
it's a lot. It's a lot of DJs. There's a lot of I was never one to force myself into that. I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying
No,
I probably could have hit upper more echelons if I was like a little bit more polished in that way.
Okay.
But I also am like a lone wolf to a certain degree, and I kind of just like. I let it come to me a lot.
I get
it. I've rarely asked people to book me in a way, and I'm not saying that I probably should have, is what I'm saying. Like I probably could have used these opportunities more, the Red Bull 3 style looks and all that. But I mean, I'm happy where I'm at. You know,
you've done amazing for yourself.
It's good
as a DJ, bro.
No, so let's just jump to then how you got that opportunity to get on tour with Justin, which is pretty amazing. How did that go down?
It's unbelievable. I was 3,000 miles away. I wasn't even in the room. And so the president of his label and I have a mutual friend. It's a producer from Atlanta. Shout out Lil Ronnie. He's an amazing producer. He's worked with everybody.
Right.
And his engineer as well. Shout out to Prince, my guy, which goes back like 11, 12 years that I've known that guy, which introduced me to Ronnie, which Ronnie introduced me to Dre, who is Justin's the president. But one day in LA, those guys were together, and Dre asked Ronnie if he knew of any DJ producers, like the combo, like they wanted producers
specifically for.
Yeah, I mean, they've got me involved. They've had me involved on the production side to a degree from the beginning, you know, doing the
edits
blends,
or whatever.
You know, all the one-off stuff I was literally creating, you know, on the fly or right.
So what was that call like though? So they're having that conversation, and then
so he said, "Hey, do you know any DJs?" He referred me. We hopped on a call. I'll never forget. I was about to do a show in Virginia. It was like 2,000 people. And you know, I haven't performed. I've done a couple festivals, right? But obviously nothing to the magnitude that I'm doing now. But I was about to go on stage, and Dre and Ronnie called me, and they're like, "Hey, we might have some shows lined up for you." But I had no idea it was with Justin. I had no idea. After the call, once I got home from that show, I remember.
And you were like, "I'm about to go on stage. Can we?"
I was literally like, "I'm gonna call you back." And so we spoke briefly, and then. We might have some shows for you. I'll be in touch. That's it. I have no idea it's Justin. I have no idea anything. And so I get a phone call Father's Day. I was literally getting ready to take my kids to church, and Dre called me. And he's like, "Yeah, you know, we got these shows. We got lined up, these one-off shows." And I'm like, Who has the shows? Because I don't know who you're talking about. Right. And he was like, "Oh, you know, I represent Justin Timberlake. I'm the president of his label."
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, shit. Okay. All right. So that's exciting." So he's like, "Yeah, we're going to fly you to Atlanta. I want to meet with you, connect, see how it goes. You know, if we mesh, fly you to LA, meet the team.
Right.
Whatever." So a month.
Did you have to send them anything or anything like that? Not really. This is all just like.
Once we spoke, I started sending him little ideas and blends and videos that I was doing at the crib. All right. And so they were seeing the 80s with Migos, and they were seeing the blends of all the genres that I do and stuff like that. And so a month went by, and I hadn't heard anything, and I was like, I'm just a go-getter, bro. You know, you heard me talking about kicking doors down.
No, I love that, man.
I was like, yo,
that's a hustle, man.
I'm gonna come to Atlanta, and I'm gonna just shoot my shot, and hopefully he's in town, and I know that I can go down and work in Ronnie's studio. And if it happens, great. If not, you know, each day I'm there. I'm there for like 6 days. Each day, Dre, what's up, man? I'm in town. Would love to connect. I'm gonna hit you.
Right.
The last day, 6 minutes. or 6 p.m. is when I was gonna leave. He calls me at like 5. Yo, I'm getting a cut in Buckhead, and then I'm coming to the studio. Like, let's connect there. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he comes to the studio. The first like 40 minutes, we just chop it up. Real genuine conversation, man. Like, while I believe in kicking that door down, I also, I want to build an organic friendship and relationship.
Right. It's
with
not
these
transactional,
guys. Right. And so we vibed. Then I got to play in beats, and he loved everything. He actually ended up FaceTiming Timberland over one of the beats I played him because he just felt like it was so crazy. And Tim knew who I was. Tim and I followed each other for a few years.
Virginia,
now.
right? Yeah.
It's VA, baby. And yeah, so that kind of set everything off, and then they flew me to LA for rehearsals, and we did the first show was in Memphis, and it just went.
So what's that assignment like? Are you in a room already with Adam Blackstone and all that, or is it more? It's a little bit more like,
I walk in, and I introduce myself to everybody, obviously, and in my mind, I'm not having any idea that Justin and I are going to do those little segments that we did together, right? Where we're dancing next to each other and stuff. Like, none of that was ever talked about.
And was there a band on stage, though?
It was a band on stage, but they weren't playing, right? So they took a break. And Justin was like, I'm going to come down rocking the crowd. I'm going to come hang out with y'all for a little bit. Hype's going to spin and do these mashups.
And this is between the set?
This is
in the
right
middle of the
in
set?
the middle of his show.
So he's rocking with a band, and you were doing the opening set when people come in.
Not only was I opening, but then he was bringing me back out to do this little B segment.
Little fun. Yeah.
And it was about 10 to 13, 14 minutes where I would do AO technology and then bring Pony underneath, but he's still singing, so he's still performing. I'm live cutting
but you guys rehearsed this though before.
Cool. So I'm putting the blends
But did he have that
idea?
Did he have that idea like, yo, this part of the show I want to do this?
They gave me 100% creative control.
Oh, cool.
Like they never. Adam threw.
But then they told
ideas.
you what songs that they wanted you to mess with, or no? Like, what if they were doing it for their set?
When I first got there, so I knew not to do the Rock Your Bodies.
Right.
They wanted me to essentially do blends from B-side songs.
Right.
So the AO Technologies, Chop Me Up, and all that stuff, and yeah, bro. So when I first got there, I kind of went into a room and I just started kicking up ideas and. Bro, there wasn't one that they were like, yeah, no, that's not it. Like, they took everything. And then the NSYNC, the Will Turn show was our last show as the one-offs where we brought out NSYNC in the middle of our set. They hadn't been on stage together in over
and you were doing, like, cool NSYNC blends with them, right?
Bro, I did. They did, what, Just Wanna Love You and Blow the Whistle. Oh, no, Drop It Like It's Hot.
Right, I saw all those clips.
Yeah, my boy actually Got Now had told me. He was like, "Yo, Drop It Like It's Hot," and then I put Blow the Whistle. So yeah, so I did the first transition, Drop It Like It's Hot, and then you see the clip. They're literally
like shocked,
they're literally singing over Blow the Whistle, but they're singing Girlfriend, and it's just like I saw the No Strings Attached tour as a teenager. I saw NSYNC. I've been isn't a JT fan, but I was also an NSYNC fan and stuff. So yeah, they had me from day one, kind of just coming in and doing these blends that I was gonna end up playing out.
It's so cool to hear the story, just because, especially because you have been DJing for a while already. So I feel like when and it's all. I think this all comes under in due time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I like to tell if I like talk to young people or mentor some young people and they're like late 20s and they just feel like that. I'm just like, yo, I didn't start touring with Wiz till I was 30. So imagine like a cool 10 years, 12 years of DJing already.
I that, bro.
I had won the Rebel 3 styles in my city. I was just the guy in the city. I was on the radio. Everything. So imagine that giving you like another chapter. And like basically from there, for the last 15 years now, it's been an amazing experience with Wiz still to this day. And a lot of artists don't even, they don't get that lifespan.
Absolutely not. Especially these days.
Right. Especially these days.
Especially these days.
It's so cool. And I relate to you and I'm excited for you. Like I think I feel like that I feel it with you. You know what I mean?
Man,
That because
I
the
appreciate
chances of this shit is not likely, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm also from Waynesboro, Virginia, where there is literally, there's not a lot there's not, especially, there's no, let me rephrase, there's not a lot of opportunity for what we do.
Right.
Where I'm from, for sure. I mean, Virginia, period, realistically, everyone, you kind of got to venture out.
Right.
And build that. And me going to Atlanta and developing that relationship with Ronnie, that's what led to meeting Dre, the president of Justin's label. And then,
I mean, but even before that, just putting in that work, bro. To feel confident to walk into these situations and be like, hey, I could produce this, I could do that, which is a testament to your ears, bro. Which is good. And the work put into it. So what's that like? So you do that run, and the world tours coming. Well, let's talk about Tiny Desk. So,
it was amazing.
What's that like?
It was so good. I mean, the band is just so incredible. These guys.
Is this Justin's normal band?
Yeah. They've been rocking with Justin. Minus a few members. To my knowledge, they've all been rocking together for a minute. Yeah, man. I mean, 2020 Experience, Man of the Woods. Everyone I know did both of those tours, and so that's over 10 years ago.
And what's Justin like personally?
He's so cool.
Yeah.
One of the nicest guys. The first day, I felt, the first day, he's like, yo, man, welcome to the circus. Like, great to have you. Love everything you're doing. And I mean, from the first second I met him, it's just super nice. He's like, yo, man, you want something to eat? Can we get you anything? Like, just very, just super genuine, bro. And that happening really made me feel like, being around these professionals in our industry and they're cool makes our lives so much easier, right? It's like,
because it's
you don't
hard
have to be on eggshells. You don't have to be super mindful, of shit. Like, you can still be funny and stuff like that. And just from the first day, it's just always cool with me, man.
There's like a cool, and I think this is, I don't hear this conversation a lot. I think I remember I asked Big Sean a while back about Mo Beats. And Mo Beats?
DJ, yeah. And he and I follow each other.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And he had said something to the effect of like, it's not just about being a good DJ, it's about being like tolerable on the road and showing up and make sure, I've known a few DJs who've had great opportunities with artists that have fucked that up because they were getting too drunk or they were trying to hustle passes or, you know what I'm saying? And really, that's not it. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I think you got to be likable. You got to be the drive and ambition, and you got to be a professional.
Right.
At this thing, I'm also 36, right? Yeah. I got kids.
Right.
It
might have been different. If you were 26, it might be a little different, right?
Like, but then again, you're 26 and you fall into an opportunity like this, you have to be mindful and you have to be professional. Right. You got to be all of that. Like,
I love that.
There's no more time to play games. Like, now you're in it.
I saw you cutting up. You were cutting up really tasteful on, like Sexy Back, and it sounded like the record, bro. It sounded like the record on the Tiny Desk, which is really fucking cool.
Thank you. Yeah, if you go back and listen, I'm cutting take him to the chorus, take him to the bridge, all of that.
How much rehearsal was that?
Like a day and a half.
Yeah. I mean, when you're rocking with professionals, dude, you know what I mean?
That I love that about them putting that much trust in me, right? Because I had never rocked with the band.
Right.
That was the first time I rocked with the band.
Right.
Other than that, I was just rocking with Justin, and I'm doing regular DJ stuff. So it's different when you have a band. You got a drummer, and you got to be on. And the second part of Sexy Back, when Gunna comes in. If I don't cue that right, because I cued that.
Right.
That wasn't Mike, the drummer, cueing that in. Like, I don't drop that right.
Right.
Everything is off.
Right.
Everything.
Wow.
So, you go back and watch it. Every time Gunna's playing, I cue it.
Who's Gunna? I'm sorry.
Gunna, the rapper, the song. So we used "Fuck You Mean."
Oh, okay.
And we ran it under Sexy Back. So when we go cut time in Sexy Back, that's
I thought you meant that like he was there.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, what, Gunna?
Yeah, no.
I thought you were talking about one of the band members. Yeah.
No.
Now that's dope. And how much input does Justin actually have on all that, or is it more?
Oh, I mean, he oversees everything.
Yeah.
And he's a true creative, and he has obviously an incredible ear.
Right.
And yeah.
That's sick. So then after Tiny Desk, iHeart, right? You did the iHeart stuff?
I didn't do that. So no? I didn't personally, I wasn't involved there, but Adam, I was responsible for doing. Adam hit me and was like, "Yo, can you do something with this record?" Which one was it? I think it was "No Angels" is one of Justin's songs off the new album. But he was like, "Yo, can you do something with this?" And I took Baby Keem and I put Family Ties under it, and now. Like I was telling you about the Al Green "Let's Stay Together," he opens with "No Angels," but he's still doing the blend that I did.
Wow.
But the horn section is doing bum 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 bum, just like the Baby Keem Family Ties. So I was still involved, to a degree in the iHeart, but just not there physically, not there cutting yet.
Dude, so then you get the call for the world tour, right? What's that? How's that feel? Or did you already kind of know, or are you just like not forcing the issue, or you just like back to doing DJ gigs, or are you just
bro, yeah. I was still doing gigs. I was still hustling gigs, when I went back home in VA. But when we went out for the last show at the Wiltern, which is where NSYNC, we brought NSYNC out. I mean, smack in the middle of my set. Like, they literally came out in the middle of me and Justin doing our routine, which is still mind blowing to me. But yeah, they came out. But that week, that Sunday, I got word. Dre was like, he's like, "You ready?" And I was like, "Ready for what?" He's like, "Man, come on, like, you're on the tour." And I was like, "That's how you tell me?" Like, so I was super excited. DJ Got Now actually had literally just flown in, so we went out, celebrated.
But the call is that you are the opening DJ. You're not actually. So for this tour, currently,
as of right now,
yeah.
And I guess maybe that could change.
Right,
if they want to end up bringing.
I mean, we'll take the opening set at the Justin Timberlake fucking year and a half tour.
Listen, 18 to 20,000 people a night, and I get to plug the gram and all that stuff. I am totally happy. I am. Whatever they need.
Yeah, so tell me the wind up for that. Like, there's no really rehearsals for you. It's like, here's the date. You walk up. How long's your set?
An hour.
An hour.
And it's dope.
From doors or what? From what?
Yeah. No. See, that's the ill shit. The doors are open almost 2 hours.
Okay.
Before I even go on.
Sick. And what happens before you? Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, cool.
They've got house music low, which me and God Now, we actually curated the playlist. So yeah, we kind of set the tone. And then I get to go out, and by the time I go out, people are already ready, and it's been dope. A couple of the shows, people have seen me walk up on stage, and you'll start to hear like it's about to go down and stuff like that. So it's been cool. It's dope that they're treating me like a real opener.
Right.
And it's even doper because I was originally only rocking 8. It was only supposed to be like 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
Right.
But then they were like, I did an hour one night, and they were like, "All right, yeah, you're just gonna do an hour." The rest
Who is the opening for that set or nothing? It's just you and then Justin.
Oh, it's literally just me and then Justin.
Wow.
Then the Al Green "Let's Stay Together," and then he comes on.
Yesterday's price is not today's price, huh?
It's definitely not.
Congratulations, man. I don't think this will be the last time that we'll talk. I want to talk.
Sure.
We'll talk about when you're back on tour. You're actually in Vegas. I don't know when this is going to come out. Probably after you do the Vegas show. But
okay.
How many dates?
Oh man, I think total is like 110.
And then how many days have you done so far?
5.
And what cities were those?
We started in Vancouver. We did Seattle 2 nights, and then we did San Jose 2 nights.
And are all these shows sold out pretty much?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. A couple of open seats last night at the San Jose show up in the top.
Right.
Just a couple, but
right.
Everyone besides literally when I tell you the smallest section, everyone has been sold out.
Right. And it's such a good, with those type of things, like hip hop shows are different because you just get people who are very picky about what they want to turn up to or what they want to dance to. But, opening for Justin Timberlake seems just like a wide open, everyone's just good vibe. You can go from 60s, 70s, 80s, new.
It's
amazing.
It's literally a whole canvas, and I just get to splash whatever I want on it, man. It's so dope. And I grew up, shout out to my dad, I grew up on everything from rock to The Clash to my dad introduced me to Public Enemy and Tribe Called Quest. Like, I remember.
That's amazing.
In Fear of a Black Planet, Public Enemy, and then Midnight Marauders.
Shout out to Dad, man.
Shout out to my pops, man.
That's amazing. Congratulations, man. You got what would you be, I always like being able to pull some, knowledge nuggets from people, especially because I think there's a lot of people out here that don't necessarily have any Yodas to a degree.
Sure.
And especially now, because I think everyone feels like they have to operate out the box. Like, if you ain't lit out the box. But I do think that, I tap in with a lot of my younger DJs, my peers. Me and you've tapped in.
Sure.
What would you have to say to, like, if you're a Yoda right now, what kind of advice you giving to, DJs or people in general?
Be a good person. Be personable. And maintain that drive and ambition. Like, if you really love it, you go all in, right? And you don't question the process. And the most important thing to me is you surround yourself with like-minded individuals and people that understand what you're trying to accomplish.
Right, man.
It's not easy, you know? And you need that support.
Right.
So
I love that, man.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
congratulations, bro. Very, very cool. What how can they find you, or like, what?
Yeah, everything is at Andrew Hypes, my government name, Andrew Hypes.
That's your last name, for real?
That's my
your last name. Like, he got the shirt on. Go ahead, show him that.
That's my government name, buddy.
I actually thought about that one point in my career. It was like, damn, what I wish I maybe not. I wish, but what if I just went with my regular name so that my dad's last name would be all over the fucking place?
I mean,
that's what you're doing.
I'm blessed in that sense, I've always known I wanted to do music since I was a little kid. I started off drumming, I always knew it was gonna be music. I didn't really apply myself in high school like that. I went to Full Sail. I tried going to Full Sail. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, Florida.
But at the time they only offered audio engineering classes. They didn't offer like a production course like that. And I tried that out. I just didn't want to be engineering specifically, so I ended up quitting and bouncing around all over the states, producing and DJing and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's been a journey, bro.
No, that's cool, man. So there's one thing I want to say is that, like, life works in loops, right? So I like to look at, if you have a history of success in something, that means that you can have that again.
Sure.
And I think people have to pay attention to that. Like, yo, you did that before? Well, that means you could do it again. You just have to apply yourself in a way. So, the road to Justin Timberlake was filled with a lot of these little, experiences that you have, whether it was, swag surfing or Shaq, and I'm sure there's a million other little things in between that you've brushed shoulders with or been a part of that just make it. Like, if you just would have quit, or just, if you thought that you were just a small town DJ, then you would just be a small town DJ,
Nah, man, my mom told me a long time ago. She was like, you pay attention to signs along your path. They're essentially like God winks, right? So, like God you're saying, winks. you get a taste of success in different forms, right? And it's like, you're getting that for a reason. You keep going, like, exactly. You just keep pushing. So yeah, shout out to my mom for that. But you always pay.
Shout out mom and dad, man.
You always pay attention to those, man. And my parents have been so supportive from the beginning. My parents will still hit the club back home. If I'm rocking. I did a show with Pauly D last year, actually. And mom and dad came out, and they're right next to the stage, so shout out to my parents. They've always been super supportive.
Man, it only goes up from here, and if it goes down, then that's just a part of the wave. But, congratulations. We appreciate you stopping by Hardin. This is your second time visiting Hardin?
This is my second time. Shout out to
Have you been to a bunch of dispensaries around the U.S. or not really?
I've been to a couple.
Yeah, what do you think about Hardin, man? Let them know.
Oh, no, the spot is amazing. It's beautiful downstairs, too. This place is amazing. If you're in Vegas, come to Hardin.
I love that. And let's talk about a little bit of cannabis talk. Something that you use for creative purposes or more relaxation, or are you a pothead, or are you more
creative and relaxing purposes. Yeah. Obviously being on the tour, I'm trying to be a little more healthy. I'm trying to be a little more
you got the catering, you're good. Justin's got the good ass catering, I'm sure. Justin got the personal chef.
The food has been great. So yeah, I'm just trying to be a little more proactive, do a little gym work, and just be, while I'm getting older now. So
wait, how many more shows you got on the tour?
Oh man, it's like 90 some shows.
Let's this is kind of funny. So you got 90 shows. How do you think how are you gonna be different 99 shows from now, you think?
Man, it's so funny. I guess we didn't really dive into it. It's so funny. As a DJ prior to this, I've never been a big talker. because I just like,
Right.
I feel like as long as the transitions are smooth,
Right.
you're going to get the same reaction, if not
right.
a better reaction than
right.
saying, yeah, I'm going to play this next. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I've never been a big talker. And so now I'm having to dive into that element a little bit more, obviously, right? But I think by the end of this,
You're going to be Fat Man Scoop by the end of it?
we're going to be comfy.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully I'll be able to catch the show. Tell Justin I said what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And
We're going to get you to a show,
yeah,
too.
definitely gonna. I'll be singing, man. I'm a Justin fan.
Oh,
I'll be
man.
singing.
Who really isn't?
I met Justin one time, and I remember I was on the radio in Pittsburgh, and so you get the radio meet and greets, whatever. And I was like, I gotta say something to Justin that he'll remember me by, and it could be anything.
Yeah.
And I walked up to him and I was like, I like your music, and it was like it was bad. I wish I would have said something that he'd remember, but it was hard. It's
remember that.
Nah, I doubt it. It's so being around I'm sure it gets comfortable maybe every meeting with him, but like there's still a level of like.
Yeah, I mean, Justin is let's be real, man. Justin's an icon, man.
Yeah,
He really is. And if you didn't know who he was and you're having a conversation with him, you also wouldn't have any idea. He's just a super great guy, man. Easy to work with and
you met Jessica?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I was teaching their son one day how to DJ at our show in LA actually, and I actually got them linked up. My boy Michael Fortify. He's a DJ in LA. He has the Scratch Academy.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But he's been teaching them. He's been teaching Silas, their son. So that's been dope to watch. Like they'll send me videos.
Does he have
of
a
him
little
DJing.
music bone in him?
Oh yeah. Yo, the crazy thing is Silas. He has the rhythm.
Right.
He's got the rhythm for sure. And they've already sent me videos of him doing clean transitions. He's just cueing, right? Hitting the cues.
But it's timing, man. It's learning the timing, yeah.
That's the most important part, right?
Definitely.
It's been cool to see.
Love it, man. Before you go, what's the song that rings off super crazy for you before these sets right now?
Oh man, God, I'm gonna be honest, so many, right?
Everything.
Because it's just one big karaoke party, right? I'm playing Bon Jovi, and oh my God, bro! The other night on the mic, I said, what do y'all know about John Bovey?
Oh shit, nice.
But I got hella tweets after that. Like, we heard you, but we weren't gonna say it because I tweeted it. I was like, I can't believe I said this shit on stage.
No,
and
funny.
of course, everybody's been like, oh, well, can you say it in San Jose? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna mispronounce the fucking name again. But yeah, it's been crazy, bro. But song wise, man, you know what? I played $1 Million Baby last night. I opened with $1 Million Baby, and
people knew it.
People were vibing. Yeah. The crowds have been so much fun though. I mean, it's the most ideal crowd ever for us as DJs. That go into all these different genres.
Right.
It's the most perfect situation. So.
I love that, man. Congratulations, Andrew Hypes.
Thank you
you for the time and just the inspiration, man. Just even though I've stepped on many big stages, it gives me inspiration to fucking keep going,
bro. And vice versa, man. I've been seeing you do it for years. We gotta make sure we give you your flowers, and I appreciate you for having me, man. And you keep doing what you're doing, bro.
My man, thank you so much, Andrew Hypes, hanging out with us here at Hardin. We appreciate it, man.
My guy.
Hardin, Las Vegas.